Okay, so a little bit of a different video today. Just, I've noticed from watching, nobody's really ever done this. And there's lots of, your top 10 beast mode fragrances, your top 10 fragrances that pack a punch, your top 10 strong, long lasting, muscle fragrances. But as you've already guessed, that's not really my type of fragrance. No disrespect to anyone who wears that sort of fragrance. That's fair enough. But my sorts of fragrances are kind of delicate and sensual, stick quite close to you, draw people in. Obviously, I still want to smell them for a long time. I'm not saying this is a list of fragrances you spray and it's gone in 5 minutes. But I don't think projection and strong sillage is always everything. So that's where I came up with the idea to do my top 6, probably it is, angel fragrances, which is the opposite to beast and angel. See what I did there? But it could be kind of called sensual or cuddling fragrances or personal fragrances. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the list. Okay, first up, I didn't want to do all the same fragrances as usual and that. Now this one's quite a famous fragrance for not being the most massively projecting fragrance, and it's Robert Cavalier. It's Woolmo. Now it's basically like a sweet violet floral. There's vanilla. It's kind of dark violets in there. There's a woody base, and that's quite creamy. It's quite smooth, but it does, after about half an hour, sit quite close to you. But I think this is just so beautiful. It's so elegant as well. Perfect for the office. Perfect for sort of everyday use. But I also think it'd be a great snuggle scent. It's got that right amount of sweetness without it being too cloying and that. And that's another reason. If this was much stronger and much, then I think it would be too much. But that's my first one on the list, and that's Roberto Cavalli, Uomo. Beautiful fragrance. If you haven't tried it, just give it a try. There's quite a few in the range as well that I've not tried, but that's first up. Now next is I've only got a little decant, but and I do have an inspired by version of this. And this is Bois d'Argent from Christian Dior. It's from the sort of the private collection. Again, this it does leave a sillage, and it does project nicely, probably about this much off you. But that's all you want. It's a nice cloud. At first it does well, but again it's sweet powdery iris, sticky floral iris. It's got some pine running through it, giving it a nice green kind of woodiness to it. Again, if it was too strong, I think this would be too much, but it's that sweet, soft sensuality with it. The floral notes are just magical. And again, this is another one of them soft, tender fragrances that I really believe will draw people in around you. They might catch a whiff of you as you walk past, and they'd want to follow you and stick their nose in you. It's a very lovely but very moderate, soft projector. But again, it would ruin it, in my opinion, if this was beast mode. So that's Bois d'Argent from Christian Dior. Next up on the list, following that Christian Dior thing, is Ombre Nuit. Oh God! Again, if you smell this, my word! But again, like Bois d'Argent, it hangs around on your skin a very long time, but it's just not a massive cloud. And again, it's that same kind of thing as it. It's got a kind of lovely, warm, sensual powderiness. It's obviously it's rose. I think it's got a touch of oud and woods, ambergris running through it. It's just, again, there's something about rose, isn't there? Especially like a powdery, more sensual rose. It draws you in quite a lot. And again, I'd love someone wearing this. I'd be hung on them like a shadow. But not beast mode, not particularly strong. It's just basically a kind of running your fingertips along your skin kind of fragrance. It's very, very sensual and it's very alluring. But yeah, I'll stop wittering on. That's Ombre Nuit from Christian Dior. Next up, move back to niche. This is Frederic Malle's Lipstick Rose. Not surprisingly, this does exactly what it says on the tin. It's like a lipstick rose. I absolutely love this. It's kind of a bit of a waxy, powdery, yeah, that makeup thing, powder, baby powder even. It's just very what's the word? It's comforting. It's a really comforting smell, I think. And again, it's the rose again, I think. Maybe rose is my thing, but it's kind of that sensual, grab you around the shoulders and pull you in kind of fragrance. Gently, of course, not like a sauvage kind of thing. And again, it's sweet, floral. I think it's got touches of vanilla. Perfectly unisex, of course. But I think it's that touch of what's traditionally female in this that again makes it so alluring and so warm. And not totally a skin scent, it's again, I get a nice projection and nice little wafts. But anyway, I'm waffling on. That's Frederic Malle Lipstick. Next up, how could I not have this in this sort of video? This is Yves Saint Laurent La Nuit de Léon, or however you want to say it. But this is famous for not being the best performer in the world. I don't agree. On me, this is the 2018 version. But on me, this performs fantastically. This does last all day on me. Definitely, and I definitely get nice strong whiffs. Again, but it does come quite close to the skin. It's not totally a skin scent. But it isn't a beast projector. I've never tried the older formulations. Well, I've obviously smelt them about, but you don't pay much notice to that. Obviously, that's why I bought this. But this performs perfectly for me. It's, you know, what more do I want from it? It's a very sweet, fresh, lovely fragrance. Somehow, the lavender and the cardamom just create magic. This magical, fresh sensuality. That's very clean as well. Unlike the others, this one isn't perhaps as much floral, but it's still that sweetness that gets people to want to be close to you, and for me to keep sniffing myself all day. So that's Yves Saint Laurent La Nuit de Léon. And number one, I promised I'd only put one Kilian in my list, which I'm going to start to have to doing. Look at this beautiful bottle. Just look at it. But again, this one is most certainly not a beast mode fragrance. It does project nicely for a couple of hours, I'd say. Oh God, that beautiful, beautiful sweetness. It's got touches of the iris isn't strong, but it's got iris. It's got florals. It's got ambrette. It's got musks. It's got vanilla. It's a very clean white fragrance with that ambrette for me, giving it this kind of pinky red feel, and obviously the bottle makes me think of that too. But this, again, it projects maybe about this much, half an arm's length for the first couple of hours, but then does come close to the skin. But it lasts for ages and ages and ages, and this is what the fragrance is all about. Rolling in love. Basically, obviously, when you first fall in love, it's quite intense, quite crazy, quite wild, quite a grabbing thing. But then, obviously, as you get more used to the love, it's more of an addictive, soft, sensual feeling that kind of lasts and lingers softly and goes on and on. So yeah, that's well, it's not really number one, but that's the last one on the list, and that's Rolling in Love from Kilian. And finally, I might tag some people, I don't know, but what are your favourite kind of angel mode fragrances? Your softer, more sensual ones for a bit of loving or a bit of personal time, or that you want to keep your fragrance as something for yourself? I'd be interested to hear what other people's favourites are. Okay, thanks folks.